anaasɛ ɛnyɛ ma yɛn kwasi broni tim popa ɛne sentia wɔde vaccination ɛba abibiman mu na family plan so mpo no ɛhyehyɛ bɛn ana kwasi broni hyehyɛeɛ ɛwɔ de krom ɛnti a wɔde ɛtoa yɛn ɛba ne sɛn ana gay ate atɛse ɛwɔ wiase afana nyinara ɛnɛ wei sɛ illuminati ɛnɛ wei sɛ freemason ɛnɛ wei sɛ sumwe mu ne nyinara ahyɛ ase firi he na obroni tim pɔ a wɔde saa nneɛma wei nyinara ɛba no de atoa abibiman mu no ɛne sɛn wei ɛntram so hwɛ wake up Africa kwasi da wei ni kwasi da bia awia dumienu ɛkɔpem awia no mienu live Royal TV ɛyɛ dwumadi a ɔfa poku danko yɛ executive director ɛde Free the Mind movement ɛne ɔfa Israel Nkroma a ɛyɛ coordinator ɛde ma Free the Mind movement no ɛbɛka me Michael Asma ho na yɛsi nkonya no madi dwumadi ho kyea me na ɛnsɛm bi atise no yɛgyina twerɛ kronkron so abakɔsɛm ɛne ntwerɛ ahodoɔ so na ɛde mo ho baabi a obibini ufiri ɛne mu a ɛduro ɛne som a wosombo na mabrɔfo sisi akyɛ ɛbra so sɛ call together atwerɛ ne kaeɛ no ɛtumi bam na no ana ahyɛ aseɛ Free the Mind movement dwumadi ɛfrɛ sɛ Wake Up Africa dwumadi so praso sɛ yɛfa dwumadi live Royal TV so kwasi da wei ni kwasi da bia awia dumienu kɔpem no mienu na yɛde wo so adwenkyerɛ ne wasɛm bisa yɛyɛ ano ɛde ama wo Wake Up Africa abibiman moma yɛn sɔre to bentro kakayo so oduma kpon yankopon afahye pisak aye Passover no edu ho biomo afiwe so ebeye kikim aye on the 22nd of April 2024 Our Kumasi Cultural Center. Wafa ya poku dan kwa ye executive director Emma Free the Mind movement. A few ways so near Bejina near the Obadia Fasha Kron Kron Ewo Kumasi. Sadano ebeye kikim. Sadano ebeye bonfrete. Eye edidie asa enijie today break. Kojo Isaiah oye the music man. Ebe mayan jom tour me ye diasa eyi odman kwa yankopon enyam. Ye kaiwo a divine and the biblical new year. About your fashion duo, Obibiambro. A Free the Man movement and I did the second edition. A bro media partner a Hebrew TV was a kind baby our social media handle. Sadano a baye bonfrete a baye or say yea. So a person who made your own shomubia from 0244 686557 and as I said 05046430052. Sadano a baye kikim a Kumasi Cultural Center a Pisak a Passover. Sona Tova. Yeah, oh, wabasha. To bentro kakayo so oduma kpon yankopon afahye pisak aye Passover no edu ho biomo afiwe so ebeye kikim aye on the 22nd of April 2024 our Kumasi Cultural Center. Wafa ya poku dan kwa ye executive director Emma Free the Mind movement afiwe so near Bejina near the Obadia Fasha Kron Kron ewo Kumasi. Sadano ebeye kikim. Sadano ebeye bonfrete. Eye edidie asa enijie today break. Kojo Isaiah oye the music man. Abe mayan jom tour me ye diasa eyi odman kpan yankopon enyam. Ye kaiwo a divine and the biblical new year. About your fashion duo, Obibiambro.
A free the man movement and I did the second edition ebro media partner a Hebrew TV was a kind baby our social media handle sadano a beye bonfrete a beye or say ye so person who made your own shomubia from 0244686557 and as I said 05046430052 sadano a beye kikim a Kumasi Cultural Center a Pisak a Passover so now to va.
Yeah, oh, wabashe. Siboni wamati asaye, okroto wamati asaye. Amuna oba ye krumse, oba betre yamesu. Eche no toniba, eche no diasasi akwanume. Akwano mana dia sabio, akwano me. Akwano mana dia sabio, akwano me. Akwano mana dia sabio, akwano me. Akwano mana dia sabio. Okromoto wa matias, Sibroni wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krumse, oba betre yamesu. Eche no toniba, eche no diasasi akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio. Okromoto wa matias, Sibroni wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krumse, oba betre yamesu. Eche no toniba, eche no diasasi akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio. Okromoto wa matias, Sibroni wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krumse, oba betre yamesu. Eche no toniba, eche no diasasi akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio. Okromoto wa matias, Sibroni wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krumse, oba betre yamesu. Eche no toniba, eche no diasasi akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio. Okromoto wa matias, Sibroni wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krumse, oba betre yamesu. Eche no toniba, eche no diasasi akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana diasabio. Okromoto wa matias, Sibroni wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krumse, oba betre yamesu. Eche no toniba, eche no diasasi akwanu me. Aquano mana dia sabio, aquano me. Aquano mana dia sabio, aquano me. Aquano mana dia sabio, aquano me. Aquano mana dia sabio. Okromoto wa matias, Kosibronin wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krum se oba betray ya mesu. Eche no toni ba, eche no di asase akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio. Okromoto wa matias, Kosibronin wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krum se oba betray ya mesu. Eche no toni ba, eche no di asase akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio. Okromoto wa matias, Kosibronin wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krum se oba betray ya mesu. Eche no toni ba, eche no di asase akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio. Okromoto wa matias, Kosibronin wa matias ae. Okromoto wa matias ae. Amuna oba ye krum se oba betray ya mesu. Eche no toni ba, eche no di asase akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio, akwanu me. Akwanu mana dia sabio.
To bento kakayo so oduma nkpon yankopon afashe pisak aye Passover no edu ho biomo afiwe so ebeye kikim aye on the 22nd of April 2024 awo Kumasi Cultural Center wafa ya opoku dan kwa ye executive director Emma Free the Mind Movement afiwe so oni ebegina na edi obo ade afashe kronkron awo Kumasi saada no ebeye kikim saada no ebeye bomfrete aye edidie asa enigye today break Kojo Isaiah oye the music man abema yandom to me ye diasa ayi oduma nkpon yankopon enumnyam ye kaiwo a divine and the biblical new year about the fashion duo obibiambro a Free the Man Movement and I did the second edition ebro media partner a Hebrew TV was a kind of our social media handle sadano ebeye bomfrete ebeye o say ye so person who made the hwehwemubia from 0244686557 and as I said 05046430052 sadano ebeye kikim a Kumasi Cultural Center a Pisak a Passover Shana Tova.
Yeah, oh,
betray Yamesu. A chain of Tony Bat, a chain of the Assassin Aquanu me. Aquanu mana via Sandu, Aquanu me. Aquanu mana via Sandu, Aquanu me. Aquanu mana.
eneno famaye edase.
Yo. Yedika betcha arefo na nene mo one special message.
Okay.
Edema enipa baako. Last week me ka omo edie. Bene no me ko kajibi. Fofovi o kajibi. Ndi ono na mechia no fofovi made ku efo. Aye wi idea de metumi aka ne say ndo. After my view for video no ebe ha last week send our kind no am assembly na ntiene no e medical can say ya ka woman for ho asem ka eso we show say nipa bibre o ho a wo munnim send your bible ehu Roman Catholic Church no kwafa e kwan be so na ebetumi ya reveal no bible mu a ebetumi ehun say asema ye kan say no we gira homa Roman Catholic Church na the woman say Roman Catholic Church abako say mu no it was established in pagan Rome and maybe a twam and 176 AD Roman Empire no ehwiase Empire no na ti asoro no ene ani fiti ase yi na ani Emperor Constantine ho nsem bebre nya no asem na meka ne na actually 476 AD no Roman Empire no na akoye kasia say there was an implosion afiase wo mudin enti afiase saa no asoro no ene be pagya no and yes the empire was conquered by another empire no and the Bible kran kasa nti ehwe asisa na sorrow ene be pagya empire no pagya no na akwati say invasion bi yaba sabe na Gehazi okoye ya edume no a okotra North Atlantic region no odani ofri na sefo no ene san ba in an invasion. One when about your ma implosion eba ya empire no collapse here. Until when the church revived it, you know, after empire no move chair edu. Na sa barbaric tribes a move baby video no. On the bell occupy assassin. Until one mutiti din bini Anglo-Saxons, Franks, Burgundians, Ostrogoths, Visigoths, Heruli, anyone can swerve in na emudu do no a enene o my modern European countries I will. Na the chairman say aso no bae no yakotro mu a more vivid description of senior and your man si everywhere by Yanko Daniel 7 to 8 20 24 25
Daniel 7
7 verses 7 and 8 20 24 25
Okay, Daniel chapter 7 verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Of I got 20 now. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. 24 to 25. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and a times and a dividing of times.
After your first picture.
Your first picture no abodi edaso no the little horn, the Vatican, the Antichrist. Yepamcho say are you ready a mo fanto so maye na papa fanka na asem.
Enti walking kind scripture no ene e kan say beast no na owo 10 horns. In fact, verse 7 no eka generally about the Roman Empire. Send you buy ya or trample on others. And they can say no maybe 10 horns and that's no. The 10 horns no na little horn. When you know one or they can some no any. This is the beginning of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay. The little horn no head of the little horn, the Bishop of Rome, after obey Pope, after the 2 million obey Vatican, only represented by the little horn. Now all battle, 3 of the tribes, one more person, one more Aryan tribes.
Okay.
Until now, they were in opposition to the rise of the Roman Catholic Church, and I said the papacy. Enunti ema womo so fa adwene say samoni anya adwene dia ene ebetumose nti sa ekwemiensa transmiensa no mo ye in opposition no heruli vandals ena ostrogoths enunti ekoba sa no ena 493 Roman army under one of their great generals, General Belisarius. Sorry, you know, this small army be heavily no more northern part of Africa. And anyway, Yam 2 women, they were crushed into extinction. 2 women, that was 493. And 534, Belisarius saw Peja and Mumbium and Okogingam, Vandals, and there's 2 women at Tuchnia. And you know, a Koyasan 534 no. Ono di 2 omaseno na 533 emperor no near friend Emperor Justinian ono so the decree bi abase abede the Bishop of Rome Roman Catholic Church boss no ono be the head of all the churches within the western and the eastern part of his territory and on the kofa papacy by Pope Sam no 533 decree no okay and it said buy but now and me anya aduma it say one no mo post no yemiensa what we no ase heruli wa yamomo 493 and bandals what we almost say 534 it jacoba say ye di decree ni buy no 538 and Belisarius General Belisarius pegani mu no kwa attack Ostrogoths one so be no rule a certain portion of Rome almost ko crash wo etu wo mase sai anwa ena bibia dead in say afedi enye pagan Rome bio a paper Rome because then they are starting papacy Pope you know I started 538 it did not list we are then could list we ba Pope for list now cause one to no because listen why big suspect so papers in Ankasa started 538 and then I start to say Peter need the first pope. Let's have a normal dream who say pope we have to start to be our friend pope and there was nothing there. And the other number that we have to work as Peter need the first pope. And Mrekwa decreed by 533, but the decree became effective 538. Emperor Justinian and a Dubai. And until listen on that by no or move a traction baby or mountain.
That an Peter well cockra. I see. So Sana Tiadia Belisarius a year and a Juma papers in the starting. A hundred the book of Daniel 25 now kind. Say, remember, I be rule for a time, times, and a division of time. 42 months, 1,260 years. And I just say, I preserve the Roman Catholic Church say, obedi day, obedi yasesu. Until I don't know, from 538, and you could see 1798, because BBC 1798. You see, you know, Saturday, you saw the new penny be a near friend. Napoleon Bonaparte. What sorry will be a say? Ah, or no, myself work and a call Vatican. From Kotu, Pope Pius VI. Adiesu. The general or no storm room, a call Kotu, no. If friend General Betia. All our call and our country, Pope no say. Only the fisherman's ring, you know, and only the sign of office. Also, only one year and one year and boom. The two ideas, so near so Ukraine. On some patterns all better woman. The Kawasu call France, Valence, a whole other cotton. And we'll try the sewer or the coin. Now, we details in a baba next week by Emmanuel. You are first video. First video, no, and our history. I'm not saying no. Born to farm my. Your first video, no, abodi adasono, the 1260 years prophecy of paper supremacy, AD 538 to 1798. If I'm to say ready, move on to Somalia.
"60 years later, Napoleon's confidant and associate, General Berthier, was ordered to march on Rome and bring the supremacy of its church to an end. On February the 15th, 1798, the new Republican government was established and the papal arms and insignia removed from the city. The events of history fulfilled exactly the words of the prophecy. A little over 100 years earlier, an Oxford University Doctor of Divinity had been the first to declare that the 1260-year prophecy would end, as he said, a little before the year 1800. Soon others took the same position. Some, like the famous clergyman, philosopher and scientist Joseph Priestley, even declared that France would most likely be the instrument to accomplish it. When the stroke finally fell upon Rome in 1798, a chorus of voices in England, Europe and America witnessed to the end of the 1,260 years of papal supremacy. In spite of creedal differences on other points of faith, there was a remarkable unity in their basic prophetic interpretations received from the earlier great reformers. They taught the four world empires of prophecy, the divisions of Rome, the rise of the Antichrist, the day for a year principle, and the approaching judgment and second coming of Christ.
Yo adofo yakohwe ye video no aba yen se mrekra yen ko papa ho na ne ho no ofa nto ayeso
enti senior video no kan no 1798 ena general betia storm room won kukutu pope and the Roman Catholic Church 2 years no temporal power any religious power no woni nyina no e be hwere no if you say one catch and say ene no ontimi nye saa niema na o ye ni bio nti ya exile no to France. It is a Roman Catholic Church. So one person must see Pope for cry is on by permission. Oh, Napoleon Bonaparte. Scripture captures our incident. You call Revelation 13:3. It is vividly captured there.
Yo, quotation near Revelation chapter 13 verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Ain't you know, Revelation who said 1798 action nearby, you know, and all described one was a beast, you know, one of his heads was wounded. Now it was healed. It was healed after many years. You bedru ho, yenyen ru when the infant say, ya bono, ya wundu no, into ni ho. Ya baby asia, world history, ya chemu miensa, ancient history, and medieval history, and modern history. Me kandi abisi asem sunti na me yesa. Ancient history no, ekoba the period that Noah manu ebe establish wo mo ho e wo wiase. Initially ancient history no ekoba a world that was purely a black world. Na bruni ba kukura ni. Wiase ni nyina was black. The ancient Japhetic empire. So I want to occupy the end maybe a friend Europe. And sana the Shemitic civilization and also Mesopotamia area. And Hamitic and also northern part of Africa.
As of away Noah and Mammy and Son.
Mammy and saying
like I blacks in Kwa.
Blacks in Kwa.
Okay.
There was nobody, no white.
Okay.
Couple say Gehazi. A quiet idea, or fum, and near ma, new friend beside who can't rock us on call baby out domain say. Dear, why ain't you know? Yara, General no Barbesa, Neyman, Yariano, and things go and was it for us, and no Daniel free, and you know, or migrating to the northern part, northern Atlantic, or called Daniel free. That was the beginning of Abrofu. And you know, ancient world, you know, no blacks, you know. After some time, we started declining in terms of divine intelligence. Affecting the environment, the biological environment, and then the other parts of the environment were affected. No, and Daniel saw someone up. Ma you who say Daniel 2:36 to 43.
Daniel chapter 2, you read FE 36 to 43. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven have given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with merry clay. 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with merry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
The black world, Babylonian Empire, Greek Empire, Medo-Persian Empire, Egyptian Empire, is the house of Israel. Into the and there was a decline in the realm of divine intelligence, and a man, say, Empire, no, what be the carbon, we are a trouncil, we are a trouncil, a benny Musa, Quapum said, I be 2 minutes cry, a bit free blacks and sa, now could be Gentiles and sa, and no, and a dear record the medieval history. Medieval history, no, I recorded the migration of the Gehazites, the descendants of Gehazi, obviously not Icelandic lands, no, Eba. Some men are no Eba Europe, no more cousins, and so echo in the iron area, India, areas, we move by Europe, now we say most call. And then marking the beginning of white-skinned people on the land. It was the result of a case. And Womunya Asino, ABPP, sir. In the medieval period, period between 4th and 6th century AD. And there's a homo migrating year. One Baba to share indigenous people also. Any a home sense, Bina, Roman Empire, no collapse here. No.
Okay.
A do umbaya, umbachiche, lands no into tenor. Ya put 2, 3. And I can say, Oma Cano, Oma Trantre, Moa, the ABC, and now you who Musa, Brofu, saying it here. In the ancient Roman Empire, they are blacks. Ancient Greek Empire, they are blacks. Ancient Persians, no, we are blacks. Babylonians, no, we are blacks.
So medieval time, Nana.
Medieval time, na and Kokonko first.
I'm from Caucasian mountains.
Oh, and I'm the big more.
Okay.
Woman, they buy. The no more buy, no, move started, they started their crude way of living. A chain and then crude revolutions be started here. The buy, medieval history, no. ended with the coming of the French Revolution.
Okay.
And then the bar put to an end to medieval and started modern history. They can't be a basis which I say French Revolution no buy no Napoleon no buy. Now Napoleon you can't want some train and Napoleon or a great soldier, yes, or called military school in Yama over here. Now Nina say he was doing the bidding of the Jesuits. Jesuits one and a so more more dada me set a train. And in Tokwa who do a cocoon ye conquest who do ye nina. Everything is owed to the Jesuits. So Jesuits you won't shut at the end of the woman. Now and someone who deal with Yassi and in your manema of ye no. Almost actually and one it is a history lecturer. Oh, baby, and Napoleon who can send your car. Without the ingredient of the Jesuits, you know, as some can who can go. All by rising Jesuits, all by classy Jesuits. And we know we cry Jesuits in a poison, and what we in you be hearing now.
Okay.
Yedi kind, yeah, video right Baba.
Second video.
A Baba senior and near a city. If that French Revolution in a buy, you know, and they put you an end to the medieval history. And a dear call modern history. This is behind the French Revolution. Now, among the church, it is 1773, and Pope Clement XIV of banning Jesuits. And almost you say, and the umber revenge, it will be a see. Umber down when you actually Pope Nankasa, umber down when you actually Catholic monarchs no omo Europe ni nyina ye be tumu nyina ye be yamunya ye bibia say internet general betia ni Napoleon ko amokogi Pope Pius VI no Jesuits enye ono Napoleon no na ho odin e na ode ko ye Jesuits ni na wo say omo punish Pope Clement any Vatican ye o ma ye nyina yanko he the second video.
The second video I share no abodi edaso no the Jesuit priest behind the French Revolution and Napoleon's rise.
Why did nearly every strategy in benefiting the Jesuit order? The answer is in the person of Abbe Sieyès. According to Ridpath's Universal History, this priest was a prime mover of the French Revolution, the Directory, and was the second consul on Napoleon's consulate, Pierre Roger Ducos being the third, calling for the end of the nobility and clergy, the enemies of the Society of Jesus. It is also most fascinating to see that Sieyès, the man whose coup d'etat brought Napoleon to power, was Jesuit trained.
Video no aba yanko ofa no ofa enfanto ayeso
enti Sieyès a ebo ni din no Jesuit trained no movement bia Napoleon ye bia no na ye based on the pamphlet bia of Troy enti more or less no Napoleon dan nsem si oye ni bia ya kan bia French Revolution ebi a me de mission akitua bi wo de wa ante ho hwe nti ye ba be the second video like third video na very short na answer ye be no ye ka French Revolution ko second picture no the siege at the Bastille.
The second picture no siege of the Bastille, symbol of the French Revolution. Pamcho are you ready? I'm fanto sumaye. No fa enfankanasem.
Picture
no siege of the Bastille, symbol of the French Revolution.
Anytime we are better French Revolution, picture we need the and say, you might say organizing masses, They say, Omati Praka, Omuko attack Bastille, now it's a prison dying. ɛhɔ na yɛsi atuo nyinaa wɔ nti masses no boko wura hɔ yɛkɔtentam atuo no ne ɛho nneɛma wi wobɛka bibi ketewa bi ɔda New America yi mu conspiracy for global control the French Revolution.
Okay. Book now for the no New Americans Conspiracy for Global Control. Now, maybe I fancy and kind fino.
The
French Revolution was not a spontaneous uprising of the oppressed masses. In France, the 10 years prior to 1789 had seen the development of greater social and political reform by the monarchy than ever before. The lot of the common people had steadily improved, and there was no visible discontent due to economic misery. The upheaval was not a chance event, but an orchestrated effort to create a new political order. The siege of the Bastille on July 14th, 1789, an event which has been persistently misrepresented and romanticized, was an excellent example of how the Illuminati stage managed the events of the French Revolution. Only 1 out of every 1,000 people in Paris participated in this siege. The incident was merely an attempt to obtain the guns and ammunition rumored to be in the Bastille, so that those loyal Frenchmen who participated could use the weapons to put down a Jacobin disturbance in another part of Paris.
Because I have a video.
Okay.
But Yakuku are presenting with Yama say it was a spontaneous grassroots route being at this start here. Jesuit one because they were using the Illuminati as the front. Sanya will be to me who said, "Om the way more way." They say this bandy or Munchom do Musha tree. And at the Omu yet a crowd kind. And then quickly young your video, no, the next video.
Your third video, no. The French Revolution and the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. Yepamto, are you ready? Mufanto Sumaye.
French Revolution began in 1789 with the storming of the Bastille and ended in 1799 with the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. The guillotine, a device used for beheading, gained notoriety and became a powerful symbol of the revolution's radicalism and violence. The revolution saw the rise of the Reign of Terror, which lasted from 1793 to 1794, a period marked by mass executions and political repression. French Revolution ultimately led to the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, who emerged as a military and political leader and later became Emperor of the French.
Video number. And I mean, person met church and 7 mukra. The person of Ankasa ye Jumani in anti over. That's how that's about.
And French Revolution, you know, who send you city. Now I can Napoleon same India. Your next picture now you quite cover no. Rumor be by. And I say a historical rumor. Then be and they say Napoleon o di ni deno. We are so the boss no. Okostomo Egypt. Oku Mamluks wonu pa the Mamluks. Bebre no jam wo. And every we are here no. Sphinx statue can see evidence you no. Yes or no. Ya soja for na di etu bu na hwene. Me sua de no. Me teacher kan sa asem no kire no. E gidi na so ene no esi bibia lateral bia question no. Ma question makum enye no kure. Nti ye kan Napoleon asem India. Ye ba be di bonko. Na me wemfa picture no so as.
E ba mo so picture no ye the Sphinx with a broken nose. The Sphinx with a broken nose. I already am but move on to Sumayen. No for the casem.
Na no. Yeah, what's your idea? Yeah, Egyptologist way. Napoleon ono bu ne hwene no because na say me can be tire kwakuda me can be tire aya no kure na ni nyina ne say springs no na nkofo ekokosom no ekowi ase no na prostitution ni niema prostitution worship ni niema ekoso ntina Muslim panyin ba ko bia no ono so ho na asam ye na hi ene niema ye no ono na ye 14th century o she akire ene ekobu ehwen no sania ebe discourage nkofo say ade na mosum no ya disregard ne dia ema obi ankofo na hono antimi ama ena Napoleon ene de bo no so bo ya for video no abodi adaso ne who broke the great sphinx nose epamuto munjagu maye na yenhwe.
Great Sphinx's nose is missing? Over the year, many theories have been proposed as to why the Sphinx's nose is broken. Some theorists claim that it was destroyed by Napoleon's troops during their late 18th century invasion of Egypt. Others claim that it was damaged by the British Army during World War I. However, these theories have been debunked by historians and archaeologists. So, what is the real reason for its missing nose? Actually, the nose was broken in the 14th century by the Arab conqueror Sa'im al-Dar. But, why did he break this nose? At that time, there were many idolatrous practices taking place around the Sphinx, and many people would come to worship it. As a devout Muslim, he saw it as his responsibility to destroy these idols and put an end to these practices. As a result, he gave the order to destroy the Sphinx's nose.
Yakowa video no atire ne humu o kire se ofakra kire mu se adwamansam ne niam na ekoso no na bufuo eye mozamini ebufu ye no bu ne hwene no ye nko fa ho na ofa ma ye nkiremu ni ye se ya titi we ya ma enti no wudi we nyina prepare afi ni e behwe final video no eno de wakakra na ewie nso anachese mmemme kasa 1815 Napoleon man ho so no 1815 elo call the Battle of Waterloo Britain and I'm saying ono the two nations of Wubin sem one the dead no more attack British troops from the wrong side and then yam na soldier for ni njenu achi no na JESUITS is okwa ohuni emfaso obiem ntine yempesa obebeye omuye ma yadene kosi island bi so eho na obduru ko share ya man poison enu wuye entino your last video no ye baba be hwe sene ye ya wo mu discover Napoleon ma obeye adwuma kese ati se ema JESUITS oyewie ya wo mu hu se ne hu ni mfaso obiem no first wo mo retire no se de we wie adwuma person oye mare kona kotra ba bi du ahome ye do ko pension no wo mu tua no 2 million francs afibia ewo mara wo ye se ya restore JESUITS no that's how restore mama samba come on ko conference bi na ni achi no we say Napoleon here for the last trip say didn't ba ya didn't call Russia kunya defeat obae 1815 and they didn't call Battle of Waterloo na so kunya ni na na kire say enya so mfa so awie here obi jawa obey threat to us. And is a bad idea in our quanium from Francis. So, you have a last video. The last video na no abodi adaso no ye the cruel revenge of the Jesuits following their disbandment in 1773 by Pope Clement XIV. From to aye ready munjangu mai.
Turning from the happenings with the American colonies, let us take a moment to investigate what the Jesuits were up to in Europe after their suppression. As we might guess, the Jesuits were not idle. they decided to seek revenge against those who had turned on them, specifically a traitorous pope and the Catholic monarchs of Europe. In 1774, a year after the Jesuits were disbanded forever,
Pope Clement XIV had suppressed the Jesuits, and a short time later he was poisoned. Poison is a big thing with these guys.
Pope Clement stated, "Alas, I knew they would poison me, but I did not expect to die in so slow and cruel a manner." A post-mortem examination of his body revealed the presence of a poison. Thus, the Jesuits rid themselves of a troublesome pope. The vendetta on the Catholic monarchs of Europe was approached in a less obvious manner. Cleverly, the Jesuits determined not to act in their own name, but decided to work through front groups and to have them take the blame for their revenge. In this way, the Jesuits would continue to appear to be disbanded and innocent of any involvement in the matter. The first front group the Jesuits used was called the Illuminati. The Illuminati was organized in Bavaria by a Jesuit professor, Adam Weishaupt, on May 1, 1776, just 3 years after the Jesuits were disbanded. Many sources only casually mention that Weishaupt was a former Jesuit, and they usually state he was an ex-Jesuit. In reality, Weishaupt never left the order. As for the order itself, it never was truly disbanded.
In Bavaria, when the Illuminati was founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, Weishaupt is used by the Jesuits then to continue the work of the Jesuit order under another name. Weishaupt never repudiated the Jesuits. That's a lie of many, many conspiratorial historians controlled by the Pope. They want to create this dichotomy between the Illuminati and the Jesuits. Never fall for it. Weishaupt was operating under orders from a superior, Ritchie at the time, who was the general, then later another superior. But Weishaupt then enters into an alliance with the House of Rothschild. So now we see the Rothschilds, the Jewish Rothschilds, Red Shield, become the bankers for the Jesuit order during the upheaval we will know as the French Revolution and Napoleonic Wars. So this alliance between the Jesuits and the House of Rothschild, these high-level Masonic Jews, is very important to realize at this point because we have to live with it and deal with it today. Also, Bavaria is the stronghold of the Jesuits. There was a huge inquisitional torture chamber there in Nuremberg. Interesting that the Nuremberg trials of the Nazis would be held there.
And the very principles of the Illuminati, the way the organization was run, it's the very principles of the Jesuit order, and that's found in Nesta Webster's book called Secret Societies.
In 1814, Francois Charles de Berkheim reported on Germany's secret societies and stated, "The oldest and most dangerous association is that which is generally known under the denomination of the Illumines, and of which the foundation goes back towards the middle of the last century. Bavaria was its cradle. It is said that it had for founders several chiefs of the order of the Jesuits." Through the Illuminati, the Jesuits sought to take over various powerful secret societies, especially the higher degrees of Freemasonry.
If you study all of the different organizations in the world, whether it be the Knights of Malta, the Bilderbergers, the Club of Rome, the Council on Foreign Relations, as you study all these different groups, and the Knights of Malta would be included in that, you find that they are like a buffer behind which the Jesuit order operates.
In his book, Proofs of a Conspiracy, John T. Robison wrote concerning the Masonic lodges. At this time, 1798, the Jesuits interfered considerably, insinuating themselves into the lodges. Robison went on to say, "This society is well known to have put on every shape and to have made use of every mean that could promote the power and influence of the order. And we know that at this time they were by no means without hopes of re-establishing the dominion of the Church of Rome in England. And with the Illuminati and the higher orders of Freemasonry, the Jesuits fomented the destruction of the very monarchs who had opposed them, beginning with the French Revolution and later with Napoleon Bonaparte.
The French Revolution was launched and waged by the Jesuits using Grand Orient Freemasonry and Scottish Rite Freemasonry in England for the purpose of punishing the Roman Catholic monarchs of Europe, taking back the Vatican Empire from the Pope, tearing away the colonies from England, Protestant England. They were doing several things at one time. Remember, the Jesuits are the great Hegelians. They can think along 10, 20, 50 different lines at the same time and coordinate them all together. So to understand what we do, we have to think dialectically. We can never think linearly. So the purpose of the French Revolution, first and foremost, was to punish the Roman Catholic monarchs of Europe. And that they did. What happened? Why, they beheaded Louis XVI, the grandson of Louis XV. We're going to teach you Bourbons of France who you mess with when you suppress the Jesuits. And then we're going to behead his wife, Marie Antoinette. And she was the daughter of Maria Theresa. She was a Habsburg. So we're going to punish you Habsburgs. You suppress us, we're going to cut off the head of Marie Antoinette using our Jacobins. And then you Braganzas of Portugal, we're going to drive you into exile using Napoleon. They did. They had to go into South America. And you Bourbons in Spain, we're going to drive you into exile too. We're going to have Napoleon set up a little banana republic up here in Spain. And and then you Knights of Malta, how dare you kick us off your island of Malta in 1768? We're going to